Sleepy town settling for the night, where every lawn is tailored just right, and it's about time that the back porch light comes on. At that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street.
Well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How was your Saturday? How was your weekend?
It's good. We're having fun with the new wheels.
Yeah. How's the ride? It's smooth ride.
With a little practice, it will be.
Ollie was like, she's never driven stick before? Or
No, I've driven stick before. It just, like, anytime I've driven it, it's A, with somebody else, and B, a joyride. Maybe, like, once a year. So I know the mechanics, and my bikes are, the motorcycles are manual, so I get the concept. I just, shifting with your hand and your feet on a bike is so much different than doing shifting with 2 feet in a car.
That's still pretty bold for that not being, like, your first method of driving to just buy a car like that. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Only way to get better, right?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Got another Song-i-Sode for you. I worked on brownies for breakfast. I did the demo for yesterday.
Oh, great.
So that's ready to go to Mike.
How did it go? Was it seamless or was it pretty tough?
Once I got going, it was fine, but like trying to figure out the tempo, because setting the BPMs is like the first thing. Like you want to, figure out how fast or slow you want the song so it's comfortable and it's comfortable to record to without feeling like you're rushing or feeling like you're lagging. So I had it like set at like 110, and Avi comes in. I was like, how do you feel about this? He's like, that's way too slow.
Really? Okay.
So he helped me like set it where it was like comfortable. And then I also bumped it up half a step because it just felt too low.
Oh God. Hey.
Hey Witch Hey.
Hey Witch Hey.
Hey Witch Hey. I'm Justina.
I'm Christina. Welcome to Magnolia Street, your one and only musically inspired practical magic fandom podcast.
Every week, we deep dive on different aspects of the movie and the books, and if you've been listening from the very beginning, you guys would know that we, the Stinas, have written many practical magic-inspired original songs that every so often we share with you via these Song-i-Sodes. We actually started this podcast as a way for Christina and I to showcase some of this awesome music we've been writing that will help keep you immersed in the world of the Owens family in a more musical way, if that's your thing.
Yeah. That's right. And if you guys have been keeping up with our magical musical journey, you've been able to see all the amazing things we've been able to manifest as a result of this podcast.
Yeah, this past summer, we were able to connect with Plaid Dog Recording, which is a studio in Boston that specializes in helping small artists just like us raise the funds to record professional radio-ready songs.
Yeah, once we decided that we wanted to work with them, things really went relatively quickly, right? Yeah. So in September, we went up to Boston to record our first single, Magnolia Street. You hear it in the intro and the outro of this show. And within a very short week of getting that final mix back, we had launched our crowdfunding campaign, which ran through the end of October 2023.
Yeah, I think that was the most stressful month of both of our lives.
It was so stressful. I'm glad we don't have to do it again for a while.
But I would say it was worth it because you guys helped us raise $11,000 to get back into the studio to record 4 more songs. So again, we just want to send you all of our deepest gratitude for helping us do just that. And we cannot wait to get back up to Boston and have more recording adventures and just work on getting more of these songs recorded for you guys. I mean, yes, we wrote the songs, but it truly does take a village. And we just want to thank you guys for being our quote village.
Yeah, thank you. Our neighborhood.
Yeah, our neighborhood. Right.
So with that being said, let's talk about more music. Before we dive into this episode and the song, we wanted to let you know that we have created Spotify playlists with just our Song-i-Sodes. So check that out in our show notes if you like to go down that rabbit hole of our original music and all the behind the scenes and writing process that goes along with those.
And if you're into all of our music stuff, you can find all the bonuses for these episodes on our $8 Rose tier over on our Patreon. And that tier is where we post our demos from these Song-i-Sodes, as well as lyric sheets, guitar chords if you want to play along, if you do happen to play guitar, as well as any other bonuses that go along with today's song.
Yeah, today we're bringing you Song-i-Sode number 7 for our practical magic inspired original song titled Can You Flip Flip Pancakes. And if you've been listening in this past week, you may have heard us tease a little snippet of this song in our Pancakes Magic and Lore episode. In that episode, we did a whole deep dive on pancakes and their place in the movie and in the books.
Yeah, and today we are kind of snowballing off of that episode because that is pretty much just the basis and inspiration behind today's original song. So, Christina, would you just briefly tell us once more where the pancakes appear in the film?
Yeah. The first time we hear about the pancakes in the film is when Sally is a little girl and she's working her Amas Veritas Love Spell in the conservatory. She wishes for qualities in a man that couldn't possibly exist, because if he doesn't exist, then she'll never die of a broken heart, like her mother and all of the other Owens women that the aunts tell them about. One of those qualities that she wishes for in a man is that he can, quote, flip pancakes in the air. What she doesn't realize is the man she was, quote, cooking up does actually exist, albeit at the time she wishes for him, Gary is also just a child. But when they're both grown and the stars align and they finally find each other, she'll find out that he can flip pancakes, and he actually upped the ante on her request, because not only can he flip pancakes, but he can flip saguaro cactus-shaped pancakes.
Yeah, and in that episode, we also had quite a few revelations that we never picked up on before. So we're just gonna go through those right now. So we never noticed before, but Gary is actually able to flip saguaro-shaped pancakes without a mold, which just reinforces our Gary is a witch theory, right?
Right. Gary's got his own magic, and we all know what it is.
Oh, there is no doubt in my mind that Gary is indeed a witch.
Witch.
Also, number 2, in Sally's Amas Veritas Love Spell that she works as a child, she wishes for a man that will, quote, whistle her favorite tune.
Yeah. However, when he comes for breakfast as an adult, he only hums it, not so much of a whistle.
Right. Yeah. And lastly, how do we never notice this one before? Gary is flipping them pancakes with the murder weapon.
Yeah,
we never noticed that before, right?
He had it in his hands the whole time.
The entire time. Yeah.
Incredible.
So those are just a few of the revelations we came across during our last pancake episode. So a few things that I want to mention before we jump into the writing process for this song. This was the 13th song written for this project, and it was incepted on February 23rd, 2022, and it was finished being written by March 18th, 2022. So less than a month later, it was pretty much, done as far as the writing process goes. So anything you have before we get started?
This one, I feel like this was all you, because I knew there were certain moments in the film that definitely were going to be covered within the song, but this one was so like niche, and I didn't even expect this to come. So when you were like, "Hey, I got a pancake song," I was like, "What? All right, lay it on me."
Hey, I got a pancake song. Yeah, what?
Yeah, what now?
What?
Yeah, random?
It was very random. I don't think I was expecting this one either, but it was one of those things, like I remember, like many of my songs that we've talked about before, I remember starting to write this one in the shower. And it's just like when I'm in the shower, that's my think tank. Like things just come to me.
Exactly.
I have no control of what pops into my brain. The melody and words to the first verse came to me right away, and I remember singing it over and over and over again until I was out of the shower, so that I didn't forget it until I was able to get to my guitar and my phone recording app so I can scratch it out and at least get something down so I didn't forget it.
I'm wondering if because you're a fire sign, like your opposite sign, water, just like innately, like when you're in the bathtub, when you're in the shower. I don't know how you and the ocean are in their relationship, but like that seems to just pull the inspiration, puts you, like the water puts you in this inspiration limbo or something like that.
Yeah.
Like where you can receive easier.
Well, I am a Cancer moon, so I do have water in my moon sign, which is very
okay.
intuitive.
Okay.
So I feel like my moon sign maybe is why I feel so drawn to the water intuitively and more inspirationally.
Yeah, I could see that.
So yeah, I think I'd come up with a lot of ideas in the shower. So I came up with the idea, and then I guess pretty much the same day is when I started demoing it. This one's short and sweet. Like this one, I'm pretty sure I wrote this song in like one afternoon, maybe one morning.
It's a very cute concept when you get into like whose point of view it is, and it's so sweet. It's a very sweet song.
I was definitely thinking of this from the perspective of Antonia, this perspective of a child, right? So this very first demo that I'm about to show you is from February 23rd. This first demo is pretty short and sweet. It was the demo that I recorded when I got out of the shower after first incepting the melody and the lyrics for verse 1. And I just wanted to get down all of the lyrics that came flying at me when I was just scrub-a-dub-dubbing away.
Yeah.
So As soon
Okay.
as that first verse popped into my head, I knew right away that this song was going to be from Antonia's perspective, and it was going to be based around that scene in the film when Gary comes over for breakfast and she answers the door, all wide eyed and excited, not only to meet Gary, but to have a guest for breakfast. Like, how many guests do you think that they're having over for breakfast? The town
That's
doesn't even
true.
like them, right? They don't even talk
Oh,
to
her
people
little
like
heart
that.
must be so excited.
Yeah, so I don't think they're having many guests. So when
Mm-mm.
Gary rolls in for breakfast, I think she was just like ecstatic.
Totally.
Yeah. So the lyrics for verse one, it goes like this. So she says, "Hey, Mr. Hallett, it's so nice to see you. Just stay right here while I go get my mom. Are you staying for breakfast? It'll be just a second. Hey, that reminds me. Can I see your gun?" And
So cute.
the pre-chorus
That
is
reminds me. Like, oh yeah, I wanted to ask you this last time, but can I see your gun?
right. And I just like in the movie, he's like,
Nah.
no, no. Yeah. So then the pre chorus, it kind of veers away from the scene a little bit. And now the pre choruses are kind of more her like internal dialogue. So then she goes, "My mom has been oh so very lonely. So I need to see if you can." And then that goes into the chorus. "Can you flip pancakes? How about a cactus? How about a star?" Being that that's his shape, right? "I want to know just how many shapes you make. Well, let's see, because I need to know. Can you flip pancakes?"
Hmm.
So that scene was just a great starting off point for the verse. But to move the story along and start to move the lyrics towards some sort of arc, I wanted to give Antonia an objective. And that objective is to pair Gary up with her mom, but not without putting him through this test first, right? So we know in the film that she gets really excited when she found out about her mom's diary that Kylie found with Sally's Amas Veritas Love Spell. And in that little diary, the girls saw all of the qualities in a man that her mom had wished for, one of them being that he could flip pancakes in the air. And how fitting that they just so happen to be cooking up some pancakes when Gary comes for breakfast. So I think Antonia realizes that there are no coincidences, but she just needs to make sure that his talents match his charm before giving him the okay to court her mom,
All
right?
right, little matchmaker.
Right. So here it is. I'm going to show you demo one with verse one, pre chorus, and that first chorus. "Hey, Mr. Hallett, it's so nice to see you. Just stay right here while I go get my mom. Are you staying for breakfast? It'll be just a second. Hey, that reminds me, can I see your gun? My mama's been oh so very lonely, so I need to see if you can. Can you flip pancakes? How about a cactus? How about a star? I wanna know just how many shapes you make. Well, let's see, 'cause I need to know. Can you flip pancakes?"
Very cute.
So that's it. That's demo number one.
That's the whole song.
That's the whole song. So that was demo one, and as you can see, the style of the song has a bit of a swing kind of element to it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted this song to sound very playful because it's coming from the perspective of a child.
Mm-hmm.
So as a matter of fact, when I was writing it, the whole time in my head, I was hearing the song Girl Scout from the Beetlejuice on Broadway soundtrack. The
Oh.
character sings about selling cookies. It's very cute, but it's got some comical elements to it. So I was hearing the same kind of playfulness here, and I think as a result of that influence, I wrote the song with stage production in mind. If you turn a film into a play, wink wink,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want to give each character their song. I think I had already written Kylie's song at that point, which is Man Under the Roses, which we have not done a song-i-sode for yet. But I had already written a song for Kylie, I believe, at that point. So I was like, I needed to write a song for Antonia. So I was like, this is Antonia's song. I was writing it with the thought that a child would actually be singing the song. Like, even if like we were to ever record the song, I'm like, maybe it shouldn't be one of us. Maybe it should actually be a child that sings the song.
It very well could be. Yep.
So that's also something to consider production-wise if we were ever to record this song. So demo number 2, February 23rd, 2022, same day. I don't know what time like all of this was going down because like in my recording app, it doesn't show you like the time.
Okay, that's all right. So you're not sure if it was like, oh, I was leaving for work, I was home, it was night. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what time this is all going down, but I'm pretty sure I definitely know that I recorded it the same day because the dates are the same. But I don't remember exactly. But if I can guess, I put the pen back to the paper to write verse 2, pre-chorus and chorus 2, right after recording the last demo that you just heard.
Okay.
So in this next verse, it's kind of split between her excitement for Gary being there as they are now sitting down to breakfast, as she exclaims that she saved him a seat right next to her.
It's so cute.
Yeah. So it's the first part of the verse is like her excitement for Gary, and then the pre-chorus part, it's like her internal dialogue, like what she's feeling inside. So verse 2 goes, "Hey, Mr. Hallett, I've been dying to meet you. I saved you a seat right over here." And now this next half of verse 2 is more of the internal dialogue, and that says, "Well, these look delicious," talking about the pancakes, "but something suspicious. Aunt Jilly and Kylie were up to no good again." And this line is in reference to that supposed baneful syrup that Kylie helps Aunt Jillian mix prior to Gary's arrival, which Antonia witnesses as she walks in on them while they're mixing it up, until Jillian instructs her to go keep a lookout for Mr. Hallett. And we've touched on this before in previous episodes, not only in our Nigella episode, but also the pancake episode from last week. We really don't know what Jillian's true intentions were with that syrup, right? We know that she said she wanted it to send Gary away, but did she just want him to leave? Or was she trying to hurt him? Or even possibly kill him?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I guess we'll never know, but if Jillian was totally fine drugging her boyfriend on the regular to get a little shut-eye, who's to say she wouldn't be okay with poisoning a man of the law who's hot on her trail to avoid jail time?
Dang.
Right? So I think Antonia knows the deal. As innocent as she is, kids are more intuitive than we give them credit for.
This
so
is true.
I think she could tell that whatever her aunt was mixing up in that pantry, it was no good.
No good.
No good. So this pre-chorus is still rolling with that internal dialogue. So it goes, "That syrup will send you somewhere back to where you came from." Does she mean back to where you came from as in Arizona, or back to where you came from as in you're going to meet your maker?
Right.
Perfect. It's
Play
like
on
a double entendre there. So then she goes, "And I put in too much work to let you go." Like buttering him up, like, you know, like you butter your pancakes. Like she's kind of like smoozing up to Gary, kind of like being her sweetest little girl self because she wants to make a good impression. She knows that he's probably good for her mom, and she knows that her mom has been really sad since her dad passed away. So, you know, she's doing extra work to butter him up, to stay on his good side, to keep him around, right? Yeah. So again, she knows the syrup is no good. She knows its intention is to get rid of Gary. But this is the point where she realizes her mom's childhood spell is aligning with the traits that Gary has displayed during his very short visit for breakfast here. And the next chorus is Antonia's realization that maybe Gary is in fact the man in her mom's love spell. In this chorus, she addresses her sister and lets her in on all of the characteristics that are lining up so perfectly. So in this chorus, she says, "Kylie, he could flip pancakes. He made a cactus. He made a star. I saw him make all the beautiful shapes we needed to see. So he cannot go because he can flip pancakes." So
she is so cute in that scene where she like bursts through the door. She's like, "He can flip pancakes." She's wild-eyed.
Yeah, and when they're at the table with the little notebook and to see the star badge, they're like, "Look, he's a star."
Goes through his pockets.
Yeah.
Doesn't she define his thing? And she's the one who shows Kylie, right?
Yeah. Children have no boundaries. Fucking hysterical. So at this point, Antonia has made Kylie aware that Gary is the man in her mom's childhood love spell and that they need to get rid of that syrup. Stat. So here it is, demo number 2 with the second verse, pre-chorus, and chorus. Here it is. "Hey, Mr. Hallett, I've been dying to meet you. I saved you a seat right over here. Well, these look delicious, but something suspicious. And Jilly and Kylie were up to no good again. That syrup will send you somewhere back to where you came from. And I put in too much work to let you go. Kylie, he can flip pancakes. So I don't know, like it just like ends abruptly there, I guess. Like you don't even hear me shut the recording off, so I don't know what the hell happened.
What happened?
I don't know what happened there, but that was demo number 2. And if you notice at the end of that demo, the last chord in the chorus changes. Instead of going back to the top of the verse chord, which would be a C, I jump to an F, which sets it up for the bridge. So let's talk about demo number 3. So again, same day, February 23rd, 2022. The next demo was again recorded the same morning. And in this demo, I go right into the bridge. And in this bridge, Antonia reflects on how unhappy her mom has been. And again, like I said before, kids are more intuitive than we give them credit for. Like she's picking up on that, right? And like all of the stuff that her mom emotionally has shown them, like in the beginning of the movie, like we see Sally under the covers and Kylie comes in and is like, okay, we're gonna go to school now. And like the kids just know that their mom is not in a good place. So she's really excited that this guy, this mysterious guy, came to town and like, you know, is kind of stirring things up a little bit. Yeah, so she knows how unhappy her mom is. So in this bridge, which is very kind of short and sweet, she reflects on how unhappy her mom has been. So she says, well, my mama, I ain't ever seen her smile in a long time. So then she follows this up with acknowledging the effect that Gary's presence has had on her mom. The girl saw firsthand how shut down Sally became after the death of their father, Michael, and Antonia would do anything to keep this man around who has her mom so gosh darn smitten. Right? Even at the displeasure of her Aunt Jillian and all the hard work she put into that syrup. Antonia knows the intentions of that syrup are to send Gary away, maybe, or to kill him, we don't know. And there's just too much proof for all this to just be a coincidence, right? Gary is the man in Sally's love spell, and there's no doubt in Antonia's mind, and as much as she misses her dad, I'm sure, she just wants to see her mom happy, even if that means moving on, right?
So yeah, that speaks like huge for her. What is she, like 7, 6? Yeah. Like so young for her to like, yeah, she lost her father too at a young age. Yeah. And you're barely grasping death maybe at that age and to lose dad, but she's in the present, right? Mommy is here. Unfortunately, daddy had to go somewhere else for forever. So
somewhere back to where he came from.
Right. So I got to make sure my mommy is happy in this time. Yes. You know, I can't bring daddy back, but we can make mommy happy in this lifetime.
Right. Yeah. So that does speak volumes for a child to know that like it's okay, it's healthy to move on, you know?
Yeah, totally.
There was a TikTok that I saw recently. It said my husband, it was so it was like a cap cut, right? And a woman was in a coffin. and the text said my husband telling people that it would be okay for him to move on because I would think that would make him happy or something like that. And the woman in the coffin gets up and she's like, the fuck I said that. I'm like, yeah. And I sent that to Avi. I was like, yeah, that would be me.
That would be you. Cute.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that second half of the bridge. So the second half of the bridge goes like this. Antonia says, but since you came around, I feel her magic all around. So that syrup's gotta go. Let's dump it in the sea so she can be happy. So here is demo 3. Enjoy.
My mama, I ain't never seen her smile in a long time. But since you came around, I felt the magic all around. So that syrup's gotta go. Let's dump it in the sea so she could be happy. You can flip pancakes, flip me a cactus, flip me a star. 'Cause now I know all those beautiful shapes you make. Well, let's see, 'cause let's go. 'Cause now I know you can flip pancakes.
A snactus.
A snactus. Dactus. And there it is. That little tiny bit in I think it's like, so the syrup's gotta go, let's dump it in the sea. I don't know the inflection you take, but it reminds me of a Josie and the Pussycat song. I don't know if it's spin around.
It might be.
But
I hear it. I hear
okay.
it.
I was like, oh, I like that.
Totally. It might be the chord that I use there, maybe. Yeah. So in that demo 3, you may have noticed that sometime after the bridge, I was finagling with the chord progressions and just trying to figure out how I wanted the end of the song to sound. And I really like the idea of going to that F minor sharp before resolving on the C major, because it gives a little tension and a little bit more of like a sentimental tone, which I really love, because most of that song is all major chords. It sounds very happy, to the point of maybe being overly cheesy, which is fine because it's a song coming from a child's perspective.
Sure.
Right?
Sugary.
Antonia's
like pancakes.
Exactly. It's overly sweet. And Antonia's got those rose-colored glasses on, right? She sees most of life optimistically. So to give the end a little more of a juxtaposition, I thought a hint of that minor chord was a nice touch to just break you out of that Antonia's picture-perfect world for a
Sure.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and even though she's a child, she knows firsthand how hard life has been, not only for her mom, but for her and her sister, for her aunts, and all the other Owens women that came before them. Like, they've dealt with so much loss and grief throughout the entire ancestry, like, you know? So, I mean...
Right. Just because she's so young doesn't mean that it hasn't touched her in some way.
Right.
And that comes across in that change.
Yes.
In the notes you chose.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just wanted to give it that little break from that sugary goodness for just a split second. So yeah, so this little minor chord, it's a nod to her remembering those hardships. But the resolve on the C major is another reminder to not be hardened by those hardships, right? She ends the song on a positive note. Literally, like it's a positive chord.
Yeah.
That C chord is just so resonant of that optimism. Antonia, in essence, acknowledges those hardships. They're a part of her and her family and always will be, but ultimately she chooses to move past them with the wide-eyed optimism of a child for the sake of her mother's happiness. And Sally's happiness is her happiness and Kylie's happiness, right? If this Gary guy can fill that pancake flip and roll, then shucking that syrup is in their best intentions, right?
That's right.
Goddamn syrup. What was in that syrup?
Do you have a moment to talk about diabetes?
Let's talk about the last demo. So demo number 4, February 23rd. Again, same day. This was uploaded to our Evernote. I actually can see the timestamps. So this last demo was uploaded around 12:32 p.m. So I did all this before noon o'clock.
Damn.
So this is the last draft that I have recorded of this song in my phone notes. And in this draft, I play the whole song in its entirety. And that was probably one of the quickest songs that I had written for this project, probably.
Wow.
Started it that morning in the shower, and by noon I had added it to our Evernote for you to listen to, which I'll get to in a second. But it was in a comfortable place at this point that I was ready to do a scratch demo. And a scratch demo is the recording just prior to recording it once more to a metronome for pre-production purposes, which I have not done that for this song yet because we're not recording this one in our batch of 4 that we're going to Boston to do. So it wasn't really a priority. So right now, in its final demo stage, that's the last that I've recorded it or touched it as far as demo.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so this is not quite a pre-production recording just yet, but it's like one step just before that. But at this point, it's done being written. Right?
Yeah.
So like I said, I added it to our Evernote at 12:32 p.m. and you had already responded by 12:34 p.m.
Oh no.
I want to play for you a voice message that you had sent to me right after you listened to it. Okay?
I'm like, I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
what did I say?
Here you go.
Oh my goodness. I just had like a really shit morning, and that was the most adorable thing that made my heart very, very big. Absolutely. It's so cute. So like simple and like it's not a whole big ass story. It's perfect. I fucking love it.
Okay. I wonder what's going on. I think that week, I was looking back in my calendar. I was like, I think my husband was gone that week.
Oh.
And I was just really bummed out. I have no idea what happened that day,
Yeah.
which is for the best.
Right.
But your song obviously picked me up.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that it gave you all the feels and put you in a little bit of a better mood. Whatever it was you were going.
Sounded so frantic. Like I'm so
Well,
sorry.
it sounded like you were in the car because like 12:30 something is around the time you come home from work, right? So you were probably on the way home from work, and maybe something happened at work and
Probably
just made you a little emotional. And I'm glad my song could cheer you up a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of playing you the last draft, which is just the song in its entirety at that point, I will just play the song for you now.
Here we go.
My guitar should still be tuned up because I was playing it yesterday. But
Okay. My cats are being such a nuisance right now. Like I keep having to like mute, open the door, like let them in because they're scratching at the door, and then he's trying to get in the spare room. I'm like, oh, just shut the fuck up.
I completely know what you mean because you want to hear something funny before I get into the song real quick?
Mm-hmm.
This was yesterday when I was trying to demo. Okay, listen to this. This is yesterday when I was trying to demo the songs for the studio, okay?
Okay. Oh my god, that is awful.
Never a dull moment around. You can understand my frustration when recording or trying to record because the cats are just
sorry.
They don't make it very easy to get shit done.
Sorry. Yeah.
So I completely get where you're coming from.
I would have had a minor heart attack because I feel like you'd be very focused on the music, and then all of a sudden it's an eruption of noise that shouldn't be there.
Luckily, that was like, I was just kind of like testing things out at that point. I wasn't really in a groove yet. So I was like, all right, get out your bullshit now and then calm the fuck down.
Go to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we ready?
Here we go. This is Can You Flip Pancakes? Right here on Magnolia Street Podcast.
Hey, Mr. Helen, it's so nice to see you. Just stay right here while I go get my mom. Are you staying for breakfast? It'll be just a second. Hey, that reminds me, can I see your gun? My mama's been oh so very lonely, so I need to see if you can. Can you flip pancakes? How about a cactus? How about a star? I wanna know just how many shapes you make. Well, let's see, 'cause I need to know. Can you flip pancakes? Hey, Mr. Helen, I've been dying to meet you. I said you will see right over here. Well, these look delicious, but something suspicious. And Jilly and Kylie were up to no good again. That syrup will send you somewhere back to where you came from. And I put in too much work to let you go. Kylie, he can flip pancakes. He made a cactus. He made a star. I saw him make all those beautiful shapes we needed to see. So he cannot go, 'cause he can flip pancakes. My mama, I ain't never seen her smile in a long time. But since you came around, I felt her magic all around. So that syrup's gotta go. Let's dump it in the sea so she could be happy. 'Cause you can flip pancakes.
say, I like even your inflection on words is more like childlike innocent.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's not the normal way you talk, but it's such a like extra little nugget that
Right.
adds to the song. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Because like even in Ain't Never, you know, usually adults don't talk like the kids talk like that all the time.
Right.
Right.
Especially like when you listen to like Broadway shows when a kid has a song, when a kid has like a feature song, like they always have like different lingo and like terminology
Right.
that sets them apart from like when an adult would sing like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like I like how in verse 1, I gave her like an extra little, like I know they're not from the South, right? But like, can I see your gun?
You're
Like
good. Yeah.
like a little like
It's kind of like she's missing teeth, you know, and she's trying to talk through like missing teeth. Okay, to your gun.
And yeah, can I see your gun? I ain't ever seen my mama smile the way
Yeah.
that you make her
So
smile.
cute.
So, yeah.
And maybe too, that's her like she knows she might not know anything, but maybe Jillian has a loose lip and is like, oh, this guy from the South is coming. And maybe she, you know how some kids, I know I was a chameleon back, you know, whenever I'd meet somebody new and how they speak, or I'm like trying to impress them as a kid, like I'm gonna adopt whatever accent they're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk like you, I'm gonna act like you. Exactly.
Walk like you,
Walk
talk like you. Yeah.
So Antonia's just trying to again butter him up. She really wants this thing between, like, even though nothing's really happened yet, right? Nothing's happened between them at that point yet, but like she knows the deal. Like she can sense the shit going down. So she's like, I'm gonna do what I can to keep this guy around because him and my mom belong together. And she knew
I like that line of like, I basically her like, I worked too fucking hard for you to leave with this stupid syrup.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny.
Yeah,
it's very cute.
So I think that will be adorable if we ever get around to recording that one, to have maybe a child actually singing on it. That would be
Sure. Molly.
Molly's like 12 going on 27 at this point. I don't know.
Okay, so she doesn't have like a kid voice anymore.
By the time we're ready to record this, maybe not so much. I don't know. She might.
Oh.
She's a little older than Antonia at this point. The couple of years when we wrote it, 2 years ago, she was probably like the perfect age to maybe have sang it, but now I feel like she's like too mature.
Okay. I got 5 nieces, so we'll talk.
We have, so then we have people to choose from.
Potential.
All right. Okay. I gotta show you that cookie song from Beetlejuice because it's fucking hysterical. We saw this on Broadway a few years ago at this point, but this song is hysterical.
This is it, the day I've been waiting for, wishing, hoping, working and praying for, the day my parents have been delaying for years. Oh, I'm gonna sell some cookies.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of the inspiration.
Cute.
But that's basically all I got. That's all I got for you. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and hopefully we'll get to recording that one day. That'll be so cute.
That is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Just one more reminder that we have created those Spotify playlists with just our song-isodes. So check that out in our show notes if you'd like to go down that rabbit hole of our original music and all the behind the scenes and the writing process that went into all of those. Also, just a reminder that if you're into our musical stuff, you can find all of the bonuses for these musical episodes over on our $8 Rose tier over on Patreon. That tier is where we post our demos for the song-isodes, as well as lyric sheets, guitar chords if you want to play along, as well as any other bonuses that go along with the song of the day.
Yeah, so by the time you guys are hearing this, we will only be a few short weeks away from returning to Boston and recording the remaining 4 tracks that we have raised money for via our crowdfunding campaign with Plaid Dog. Oh my
That's
god,
crazy.
Yeah, we're actually in the process of doing all our pre-production right now, recording some of the tracks to a click, getting those BPMs down, and working with our producer Mike to put drums to like pre-pro drums anyway, but
sure,
getting all our ducks in a row. So once again, huge thanks to all of our donors. We can't wait to get you guys those perks soon, and we truly appreciate your patience and support. These things do take time and they are quite the process, but we promise all the perks and music we have coming your way will be well worth the wait.
I knew there was potential for this, but I think initially when I wanted to collab with you or like write anything like this, it was kind of selfishly. I was like, I just want the music. You know, I didn't think we could push it that far, but I did not know you very well then. Oh, yeah. I did not know that fire element in you that could carry. And, you know, I have the little brain sparks, but I don't really have that tenacity to to see where those little threads can lead. So I really appreciate where this is going. And also not just, okay, the songs led to the podcast, led back to the songs, but also all the other people we've gotten to meet, all the, people we got to talk to spread the word about this project, all the support we've gained. I really, really hope the end goal is to have all these songs available to everybody, and even maybe in a musical fashion at some point would be fantastic.
That's the dream, right? That would be so cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're working on for you guys. Stay tuned. Summertime, maybe fall, we'll have this EP available for you guys to download or to purchase. Definitely on Spotify.
Totally. Yeah. And keep an eye on that $8 Rose tier, because we're putting stuff over there all the time, the visual aspects. All of these songs will be recorded.
Yes,
We just,
at some point.
and you guys are getting the first looks, at the very rough essence of these songs. So that's where you can find all of them.
They're getting the history and the making over on the Patreon.
That's right.
Speaking of, here's how you can support the podcast on Patreon. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. That's our seedling tier, and that gets you access to our patron-only polls where you get to weigh in on what topics you would like us to talk about next. It also gets you our monthly calendar so you can see what topics we have coming up for the month, and it also gets you a welcome shout out on the show. Our $3 Lavender Bud tier gets you our show notes for each episode in an aesthetically pleasing PDF, our after hours posts, if there's any extra tidbits or behind the scenes info pertaining to any of our episodes, we'll post those along with a blog post or extra photos, and access to our specially curated Spotify playlists. We have created playlists for our WMSR episodes as well as Production Dream playlists for each Song-i-Sode and more. Our $5 Lilac tier gets you access to our private Facebook community where we host a monthly live stream. Plus, you'll get access to our Discord server where we host our monthly watch parties. And also on the Discord, you can join in on the discussion with other Magnolia Street neighbors via the various interesting channels and threads. And then here's the $8 Rose tier. This gets you access to extra audio visual content such as a once a month full-length video episode, unlimited bonus videos, uncut footage, cutting room floor footage, bloopers, outtakes, meditations, exclusive interviews, and old home videos from the vault, or spell or ritual videos, and more. It also gets you bonus content to coincide with our Song-i-Sodes, such as full-length demo streams of our original Practical Magic inspired music, plus lyric sheets, guitar chords, and original scratch demos, or bonus video performances of our songs and more. Lastly, we have our $15 Wisteria Vine tier. Just like a twisting Wisteria Vine, there's a way for you to stay connected with us, the Stinas. In this tier, we invite you to join our private Marco Polo video messaging app. The app is totally free for both Android and iOS. Sign up with your phone number or email, and we will help you do the rest. This is a great way to chat with each other in a more intimate group setting, face-to-face via video recording. We love to show each other our pets, our gardens, or anything else you'd like to share. And just a reminder that the higher the tier you sign up under, the more rewards you get, because you get all of the rewards of the tiers below it. You can upgrade or downgrade or even cancel at any time. So to support the podcast, head to patreon.com/Magnolia Street Podcast.
Yeah, and there are additional ways to support us and our podcast that don't cost you any money. If you do listen on Spotify, please give us a star rating. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please give us a written review. We love sharing those on our Instagram. And if you're on Instagram, we would really appreciate any reposts or blurbs about our podcast. And make sure to tag us at Magnolia Street Podcast in your feed, posts, stories, and share us with your Practical Magic love and friends.
Any closing thoughts before we hit the road for today?
This is going to be episode 70 or something like that, which insane. What Song-i-Sode is this, like number-wise?
7.
Number 7? We have so many more songs.
I know. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so hopefully in the next month and a half, we'll have another song ready for you guys.
Yeah.
This was really fun. I love this song.
Yeah, so once again, you guys can listen to other episodes in our Pancake series, because this Song-i-Sode is actually a part of our little Pancake series. Episode number 43, you can listen to our Nigella Blessing Seeds episode, where we talk all about Jillian and how she created that syrup to Sangria away during that pancake scene. And then last week's episode is episode number 69, and we talk all about pancakes, magic, and lore. And tune in next week for an all-new episode as we go even further down the rabbit hole and explore syrups in witchcraft, because
Sticky.
not just the Nigella syrup, but like all syrups, right?
Okay. Yeah, sounds good to me.
I think that's all we have for you guys today. I'm Justina.
I'm Christina.
And we'll see you next time.
At the house on Magnolia Street, would you go down to Magnolia Street when the wisteria grow wild? At the house of magic and
songs for the sluts. I love that.
Can't hold us down.